Nikke has something for everyone. For you distinguished gentlemen. For lovers of feet. Animals.
What the dog doing?
And well, lately there has been a lot of team building questions in the Nikke community. Like, a lot. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Let's go.
Let's make...
So for starters, you want to make sure you have at least one B1, one B2, and one B3 unit. That way, you can enter full burst, and that's what you want to do as much as possible. So now you can enter full burst once, but because just about every B3 has a 40-second cooldown, you're not going to be able to burst 2 times in a row with the same unit. So the obvious answer here is you put in another B3 unit. And every team needs at least 2 B3 units if you want to have proper rotations. Now, you're still going to run into problems of having to wait a couple of seconds until you can burst again with your burst 1, and that's where CDR units come in. These units have cooldown reduction in their kit, meaning one of their skills is going to make it so that your rotations are going to be smoother because their burst cooldown is going to be reduced round by round. I'll show Leader here as an example because she's still very good and pretty easy to get through the standard banner Pity. Here you can get a free copy of either Leader, Naga, or Alice if you've pulled 100 times on the standard banner. Now I will say that at the point of making this video, it's only 17 days left for this event, but we'll see if it's going to be extended or if we're going to get some new units for this. Back to our team. Let's say we put Leader as a CDR unit into our team. There's still 1 slot left, and obviously we want to go with 5 Nikkes to maximize damage. Now, you have a couple of different choices when it comes to the 5th unit. You could just bring a 3rd B3 unit, which is probably the most common option. Just be aware that that B3 unit is never going to burst on auto, so if you can, try to choose a unit that does good damage without having to burst. Examples for this would be Modernia, Mihara Bonding Chain, or Privity even. Now instead of including a 3rd B3 unit, what you could also do is include another B1 unit. And because you have 2, you could even go for one of those ones that have a 40-second burst cooldown, like Ether in this example. Not like she's actually good or anything. The same is of course true for B2 units. You could just put in a second one, again, could be one with a 40-second cooldown, and they would alternate bursting. So as you might have noticed, it really pays off to pay attention to your Nikke skill kits, because there's some really great synergies between some of them. Some Nikkes work together so well by design that you can really build teams around them. You just slot them in and they kind of work. I'll give you some examples of these. One of the strongest team compositions for a while now has been Mermaid, Crown, and Treasure Helm. I would show you, but
they ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine.
They work so well together because they're individually very strong units and they complement each other's kits. Crown needs constant healing to proc her attack buffs, which is provided by Helm. Mermaid really benefits from machine guns in the team, which is provided by Crown. And on top of that, the 3 are just very strong units in their own right. They work really well together. There's also the combo of Maid Mast and Maid Anchor, 2B2 units with 40-second burst cooldowns each, so they alternate. They provide some very nice buffs and some heals and shields for the team, and specifically buff distributed damage units like Scarlet Black Shadow or even Brady. Next option is the Bunny team, which consists of Blanc and Noir, which was like the classic combo. You can also use Blanc with Rouge though. You could technically use them all 3 together in a team, but it is kind of not recommended because all you're trying to do is reducing Blanc's burst CD from 60 seconds, and that is accomplished by having one of the 2, Rouge or Noir, and you can just bring another unit instead of, having the 3rd one, and that's going to benefit you more. Rouge specifically is being used without the other bunnies a lot. And with her, just keep in mind that you want to place her on the 2nd or 4th slot because she buffs the units around her. So you place your DPS units around Rouge. Then of course you can use the schoolgirls, Tia and Naga. Just keep in mind that Tia, while being a B1 unit, is one of the units that re-enters her burst stage. That means she bursts, but then re-enters burst 1, so you need another B1 unit in order to be able to progress to burst stage 2 and burst stage 3. With a shotgun team, there is not really a super set combo of characters, although I would argue that Tove is kind of the backbone of the shotgun team as a B1. The shotgun team kind of suffers from not having a CDR unit per se, so you will need one of those, or Bunny Soda. But I've included Drake here because through the villain quests you get some copies of Drake very easily, so you can even build her treasure, and that's going to benefit your shotgun team for sure. Alright, I think that has been everything for now. Just to get started on team building, you know, there's more intricacies and more details to know, but I think this will get you started in the right direction. Thanks for watching and have a good one.